Watching the flag raising reminds me back of when I was back in service. Early mornings, really early, we would get up, put the flag where it belongs. I was on submarines, so it was a short walk. But it would raise it quick and proud. And then in the evenings, it's kind of sad, we would take her down. But we did so no matter where we were. Sometimes in the cold and the rain. But I heard something that was done a few years ago. It was written by Johnny Cash. But the recording that I truly loved was one that was done by John Wayne. There's no way that I'm going to be able to replicate that. The name of it is Ragged Old Flag. I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole has leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." Then he said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag when Washington took it across the Delaware. It got powder burned the night Francis Scott Key sat watching it, writing, oh say can you see. It got a bad rip in New Orleans, with Packingham and Jackson tugging at its seams. And it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on, though. She got cut with a sword in Chancellorsville and got cut again on Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg, and that south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Hill, on Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low by the time it was through. She was in Korea and in Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved from our ships upon briny foam, and now they about quit waving her here back at home. In her own good land, here she's been abused, she's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. She's getting threadbare, and she's wearing thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, take her down every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. The words to that, I used to say every week at Boy Scout camp, at the last campfire. It always amazed me when I called all the veterans down, how many were surrounding me on the stage. And for many of our youth, that was the first time they ever knew that their mother or father or grandfather, grandmother had ever served this great country. I thank you so much for coming out here this morning and participating in this flag raising. Take a little bit back to your homes with you every day, but today specifically. This isn't about barbecues, although those are really good. Remember why we're here today. It's the independence of this country when we left the tyranny behind us. I thank you so very much for joining us here this morning. Can I say that?